So we're gonna do it anyway. So here's the thing. It was really great. Kind of just aligned with everything. I asked Macy a question today about salt. You know how some people, the difference between like salt and like Himalayan salt and stuff like that, which is again really cool with the alignment. Because way back when I learned salt is not an issue, right? Obviously in moderation, and if you're drinking enough water and balancing out your other minerals and stuff like that. I've known that, but some people think, sodium is bad or table salt's bad or whatever. But I genuinely wanted to know the difference between like iodized salt and pink Himalayan salt. And some people said that iodized salt is good for you because iodine, I don't know what. So I asked him, and he told me the same thing. I figured out later on that back then in the 1920s, they added iodine to salt because of like iodine deficiency in people, and iodine is a trace mineral that could help thyroid production, whatever, and that a iodine deficiency could cause goido or something about like a thyroid problem, right? So that was developed, and we all know, well, we should know, processed does not necessarily mean bad. So milk goes through a process to take out all the like bad stuff. Baby food is processed. Different types of food they go through a process to be consumed by the consumer. So iodized salt is like most stuff is taken out, hence the white look to it, but the iodine is added into it. And with pink Himalayan salt, that there's other trace minerals that provide that pink look to it. It's considered more natural, and people automatically link natural to better for you. But that the minerals weren't in large amounts to where it made a huge difference in the health of your body. And then not right afterwards, but a few hours later, I had posted a story yesterday or so with my spaghetti, and I was putting table salt on it. And I was kind of like predicting that someone might say something, but no one really did until today. And they said that, shout out to you, babe, because I just love learning things and having it all come together. So that this person said that it was too much bad salt, and proceeded to tell me to use pink Himalayan salt. Again, alignment. And my question, me asking questions, my question was, why is it bad, babe? Why is it bad? And then they proceeded to send me a Google screenshots, and it literally said iodized salt, exactly what Macy had told me. And technically that's a good thing. That could be a beneficial thing to include iodine in your diet, so you're not deficient, so you don't have any thyroid problems. And then she goes on to say stuff about how she doesn't like too much salty food, that it doesn't react well with her and all this stuff, and preferences there too. And then when I was having conversation with my business partners doing the vision board and stuff like that, I was just questioning other things like that Alexa, when people say, Alexa, play this thing, it's like, damn, that's cool. And kind of like shifting a little bit, but I hope it'll come together soon. I'm just really excited about it. Whoever watches this entire thing, bro, start conversation with me, because this is a lot. So the Alexa thing, that if you have Spotify Premium, they will give you a free Alexa thingy, and the version is like $50, something like that. And oh yeah, they're getting so excited about it. And then me and my other business partner, I was questioning it, like, how people say, oh, they want to listen to whatever you're saying, right? Because Alexa catches everything. She catches everything. So I was curious and wondering, like, I wonder why they're giving away all these free Alexas. Like, do they want to hear everybody's conversations? And I know it's a little conspiracy theories, but asking questions, just being aware, it kind of just sparks that kind of thing. And everybody's super hyped about the freeness of it, but what if the other intention of it is to just more control? Which brings me back to the idea of fad diets. Like way back when, they're low fat diets because fat was considered bad for you. Way back when, sodium was a huge problem. Way back when, carbs were a problem. So just bridging. And then, okay, let's pause really quick. A little bit more esoteric side of us as spiritual beings living a human experience, whoever agrees with that or don't or whatever. The fact that our or the well-known concept thing that our beliefs create our reality. People say that. Whoever is familiar with that is familiar. If not, that is a big thing in the awareness space, personal development space, esoteric space. Our beliefs create our reality. So, bridging those two things together, what if, of course, we are physical beings and not one thing is good or bad. Like salt is not bad in moderation, of course. And if you're drinking water and all that stuff, there's no bad salt, correct? It's actually a good thing. Fat is not bad. Carbs are not bad. It's the accumulation of things like that. But when these fad diets were presented to us, our belief system matched up with fats are bad. My body responds terrible to fats. I can only utilize a low fat diet. And then we continue to live out that type of belief. And then we were talking, this is the second time I heard this. I forgot what it's called. Game Changers or something like that on Netflix. Apparently it's a really big thing right now. And the whole concept is that eating animal protein is not good for us. And that there's a whole bunch of bodybuilders and performance athletes that do have a plant-based diet. And I have never watched it, but this is what I've heard from other people going towards, plant-based approach. And then again, combining both the belief aspect and the physical aspect, there's so much question too. You know how the media, this is going all over the place. So you know how people say they brainwashed us or this is what's happened. So the media, similar to when they say, oh, milk builds strong bones, but milk only has a certain amount of calcium. There's a whole bunch of other different foods that have more calcium than milk does. But the belief system and the commercials having us think that milk is good for us, or having us think that, I don't know, milk products are good for us. So we believe that, and then we live out that purpose. Similar to salt is bad for you, and you believe that, so it has you live out a certain effect to it, which, again, I advocate awareness so much because some people might think or might believe that carbohydrates, that their body doesn't react to carbohydrates a certain way, or they try certain things or whatever the case may be, or that they can't lose weight or whatever. But then when they have, similar to, this happened to me, and this is what I see a lot, when they have a broader awareness of tracking macros and calories, the belief system that you blow up with one cookie or one cake or whatever tends to, dissipate? Because the belief has shifted. The awareness has expanded to, you now understand that not one thing is bad. So you no longer believe that one thing is bad. There's no good or bad food, just like flexible dieting kind of preaches. So developing that awareness gets you comfortable with eating quote unquote bad food and still seeing the results you want. So here I am questioning, there can be a bridge in belief systems and physical reality in the way of relating to body and results and stuff like that, because I was just the flow of what I was hearing today and talking about today just all kind of matched up together. I hope that made sense, because so often we're being told things by the media as young children or as just Americans, maybe. The milk is good for you, drink milk, strong bones, low fat diet fads, the ketogenic diet fads, this type of thing, bad foods, or the salt thing, creates these belief systems that we live out. But when we expand awareness and strive to understand the facts, I guess, or strive to understand just a little bit more than you did. Instead of living in fear, living in understanding. And then, of course, it shifts to faith and stuff like that, which we're not talking about right now. So it just makes me, again, I question everything, guys. So if that made sense to you, maybe you believe that you can't have carbs, or that donuts are bad, and then you believe that every time you eat a donut or every time you do a certain thing, this certain thing happens. Maybe you can get comfortable with understanding that there could be a different option, there could be something else going on. Once you're comfortable with that other type, that new belief, things shift. So utilizing our power, mind you, I'm very outer focused. I love to learn. I like the facts. I like the data. I like all that stuff. But to bridge these two things and utilizing our internal power from these belief systems, these things that we can cultivate as spiritual beings living a human experience, to help shift our physicality of what we are experiencing. Does that make sense? And it kind of like, not upsets me, but it, like, why lie? My ego likes being right. When I have conversations like this, like, tell me why it's bad. And then I get something and I'm like, oh, well, this is what it is, right? But my ego likes when I'm right. And at the same token, it is disheartening. It is, I don't care for the fact that I am right in that way, or that no more people are feeling like they're disempowered as opposed to asking questions and feeling more empowered. Of course, I'm surrounding myself with other people that I can ask questions about, but the fact that there needs to be that type of stance. Someone needs to take a stance and encourage these type of things, because the media, what we see, what we are encouraged to believe, such as, I'm going to relate this again, the milk era. Anywhere you go around, like, oh, milk, they say it builds strong bones. But when you realize, or when you understand, when you broaden your awareness of what it actually is, and that there's definitely more calcium in other things than milk, or that milk isn't as good for you as we thought, or that this situation with animal-based protein, or animal protein and plant protein, like, all of the things that we have been taught may not be good for us. And it makes me broaden it to the media and where they want us to stay. And then again, this is more conspiracy theory stuff. But when you question, it makes you really look at the world in a different sense. And then it goes back to like network marketing and stuff. Like, stick with me. People want you to believe that this is bad or whatever. But do you really know? Do you really understand what is going on? No. Similar to salt. You just think it's bad salt. You just think network marketing is bad because it's a pyramid scheme. But do you understand what's going on? That's why just ask questions. This is so much. Do I make sense? I'm done. That was a lot. Thank you for sticking around. Okay, I'm done. Bye, guys.